Viper might be problematic a bit.
That's true, but also Invoker is a pretty high regen here, so if it isn't...
Very well. Anyway. Enough of your discussion. What we deem is the game. Ladies and gentlemen, please may I introduce you to Cinderin, one of the greatest casters of all time, and his tiny nephew, a clone that was made with improper genetics, and it is on its 5th iteration, the disgusting Cinder 2. Enjoy Cinderin and his horrifying mistakes.
Prepare for battle.
Có đài bắt ở đây không? 458 đài bắt rồi.
Thank you, Sir Action Slacks, for that very positive intro to this very depressing cast now.
Empower yourself.
You outed us. I am the clone. There's many defects that I have, but we will continue. We will power on, Cinderman, because this is going to be another hype game. Game 1 was the hypest game that we've cast thus far this tournament. TNC, they've kind of established themselves inside like the middle area of the group stage right now. Nigma trying to fight for that top 2 for the upper bracket. And I mean, these games are going to become more and more important as the group stage continues on. And we don't even know what position these heroes are. So it's an offlane Viper.
Yep, worked well for them last game. Tim's is going to play 4 Pango, carry Mag. So yeah, pretty much like the panel predicted. I do want to say before we start off in this game, something completely unrelated to what you just said.
Okay.
I misspoke last game. Roshan is in fact not named after Ice Frog's bowling ball. It is named after an older developer back from Dota's dark ages before Ice Frog took over. But it is named after a bowling ball, so that was correct.
Are you going to say what that developer, who he is?
That is an eternal mystery. Google it.
I know. Is that even Googleable?
I don't know. If you can't find out, maybe it will remain a mystery forever.
Now, do we know why that bowling ball was named Roshan?
I don't know. Maybe Roshan originally was meant to be bright. But then Warcraft 3 have no bright colors, so they couldn't do it.
Yes, the limitation. Just any bright colors. I mean, it was quite a dark game, so I can kind of understand that. So it will be Armel mid on the Leshrac versus Invoker. Top lane, we're going to have a little bit of action. The Bramble, nice rotation from GH. This is going to be an early first blood for Nigma. They're going to try to give it to ILTW, and they will be successful. So first blood for the Bearman.
So they're trying the offlane Viper once again. Same as last game. I do think it worked out fine for Nigma to do it last game as well, so I don't see why they would change that strategy. They once again will have their Mars 1v2 bottom struggling a little bit. This could result in a dead Pango if these Brambles land. This hero is not very tanky, especially not with this build.
Yeah.
Really surprised to see him go Orb of Venom. I don't know what he was expecting to face where he thought he would get a lot of value out of this, but... Alright, flipping him with Tornado.
Pressuring a little bit, and you can see Pango on the minimap still getting pressured, trying to get this wave. He's going the ring around the Rosie here. It's around the entire map. Around the world, as they call it, of course. Swashbuckle to the high ground, and now the creeps will find their way back eventually. Bramble will miss, so he'll walk out.
Where are you going?
Yeah, kind of odd, but I mean, we'll see. I mean, what do you think of position 1 Magnus, as we're going to see mind control pressured a bit in the meantime? I mean, is it just going to be like this? I mean, when I see it mid, it's typically like the Echo Saber into Blink into BKB Daedalus, something like that.
Yeah, it'll be a similar build, I think. I will say though that I don't think Carry Magnus fares particularly well against Ursa.
Mind control.
All right.
A lot of damage with that impetus, and the skewer will finish him off, but they do get the Pango before then.
Yeah. Good trade for 2v3. I think.
Oh yeah.
You understand that, right?
At the same time, though, Tim's kind of was dry and wanted a reset, so maybe not too bad from his perspective either. So what I was going to say against the Ursa matchup, like, what usually makes Carry Magnus so strong is that when he has these items, he can RP the enemy core and kill him on his own, or with like +1. But against Ursa, Ursa can always get off in rage, and then you're not winning the fight 1v1. In the fight, Ursa can get Ags, at which point, you know, he solves that problem as well, even if he doesn't get it off in time. They do have Viper against Ursa, which I think will help the matchup a lot. If Viper's in position to get off the Viper strike, that's definitely going to be a problem for Ursa. Can get kited. So both teams really have tools, but I'm not sure I'm feeling it. We'll have to wait and see. And like you said, BKB, it's going to be mandatory this game. Like, there's way too many solutions for the Mag if he doesn't have it. He can get Tornadoed, he can get Terrorized, he can get Arena'd, he can get... Even Static Storm is good against Mag Core if it goes in. So he can't get off his other spells as part of the combo.
Pims does get the bounty room, but it's going to cost him a ton of HP. As I mean, okay, back to the Magnus real quick in terms of the item build. Not the Magnus, the Ursa, but do you actually go for an Aghanim's like third item or something like that as block? Getting chased, a nice disarm with that lucky shot, ILTW, another right click will be enough though. That's another kill going the way of Nigma, but it will be a trade as Tims takes out Kuroki in turn. TP back to the tier 1 tower.
I don't think you go Ags third on Ursa, but maybe you get it from the Roche, or maybe you get it like 4th or 5th item, right?
Okay.
And I feel like whenever there's an Ursa in the game, it's a good thing to think about during the draft that there would be 3 Roches probably. Ursa games just tend to have more Roshan kills, so you can at least have it in the back of your mind. Like, you're not going to game plan for the 3rd Roche, right? But
yeah.
You can at least consider
I mean, I do, because my games are always long, but that's just...
Right.
GH and Boomy having a right-click battle for the ages. Is this little creepy, not really fast enough to catch up? Armel, in the meantime, 2 versus 1, gets to split Earth off, but looks like he's just going to go down to Miracle's right-click. Yep, just in time. And just enough damage is now Miracle getting back into this game again as Boomy being chased by GH in the meantime. Has the high ground advantage with that Fairy Fire, pops it, but the Thunder Strike will end up netting the kill. It's going to be another trade. So trade after trade after trade, it feels like. Miracle does get that room top now. I mean, this early game, the scuffling, if you want to call it that, who's that favoring, you think?
I think Mind Control is the biggest winner of everything that just happened in the last minute, because he has been struggling against the Ench plus Magnus. And now that Ench was off hunting the Willow for a good minute and a half. Oh,
okay,
that's a
skewer
good
back
skewer.
to tier 1. Mind Control, I'm not sure if he wanted to spear Gabbi instead, but found Boomy. And now Mind Control onto that tower will be taken down pretty quickly. Now GH only level 2. I don't think Gabbi and Boomy have enough in the tank to actually take that kill.
Yeah, that's a good kill. Just when Mind Control is coming back in the lane, they find that immediate kill after.
We're going to see the right-click battle again. Different version here as the creep actually died as well.
Oh, that was hype.
Yeah, very hype. A Viper taken out. So Ursa, I mean, what do you think of this matchup in general as a Viper versus these two?
I don't think the lane matchup is very good when Ursa skills overpower. It can get overwhelming pretty quickly, but in the game later on, Viper, I would say, fares pretty well. It's always going to come down to whether Ursa comes up close, right? If Ursa comes up close with basically any hero in the game, he wins. But Viper is one of the heroes that can counter him with his ults, and he can even itemize specifically against Ursa if he thinks it's necessary, just by 4 stuff, right? Or something like that. Oh, that is really bad.
Yep, all the way back to base you go.
That is someone who's not used to playing against Disruptor because it never gets picked right now.
Well, after that, he'll remember the rest of the game, I feel like. Armel, they did scan, by the way, so they know that GH was in this vicinity, so that's a small silver lining that at least that connected so that he would not get ganked successfully in terms of Nigma's perspective, of course. GH, well, he'll take the haste rune. Has 1 skill of each, so has the combo that he really needs. Gonna get the Curse Crown Bramble as well with the Tornado setting everything up. Last Strike taking so much damage. Can they get the kill, though, is the question. The Shadow Realm is indeed enough. The impetus, oh, the smoke! Disjointed. I'm not sure if it missed in the meantime, but either way, the smoke putting to good use for GH. In the meantime, Swashbuckle on the side. Kuroki getting chased by Tims. Now that Orb of Venom coming in handy, Cinderman. Double kill for GH, though. Does he get the Enchantress kill as well? Roshan, will he? No, he's not interested in fighting.
I think Kuro actually blocked off Roche.
With kinetic field?
Yeah. He meant to block off the Pango, but he placed it in front of Roshan, so he couldn't reach and hit him either.
Very sad.
That's just bounty.
I feel like a bowling ball should be able to go through a kinetic field, personally. But
yeah, that is... You have not studied physics, have you?
Cinderin, I don't know if you know this, but kinetic field's not real. All right, awkward silence over as a Possessed Mask is picked up for TNC, which is not the greatest this game. They don't really have a right-click carry as, traditionally at least.
Is under attack.
Agnes will take it, I assume, for now, but...
Yeah, he's the best carrier they have.
Oh my, Viper Strike? ILTW is in a lot of trouble, and they're going to take him out thanks to this TP support from TNC, and Kuroki's left all alone, but... I mean, looking at the net worth overall, Magnus, I mean, it's not really that big of a surprise. Empowering yourself, you're going to be able to farm a lot faster than pretty much anybody on the map. But other than that, it feels like the mid lane is the big story here, as Miracle is 600 ahead as Armel.
He's actually going to die.
Dying again. Shadow Realm is set up. Tornado to follow. Is that enough damage? Indeed. So Nigma and Miracle specifically able to kind of win this mid lane, I guess, obviously with help of GH and others.
Yeah, that's a really good ward. that one, set up that entire kill. GH, the only reason he knows to chase there is because they have that deep vision. And they had perfect spell casting. They waited for everything to land and then they tornadoed for the finish. That's exactly what they needed to do. Goro's in trouble.
Yep, kinetic field, but Bach is able to right click from beyond here. There's TP from Mars in the first arena of the game, and they do take out the Disruptor easily, but Mind Control gets the bigger kill on the position 3 Viper.
Goro's like, now that's more like it. This means Mind Control is playing more like Seb this game. Very good.
Okay, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. We have a spear into a tree, Mind Control, pretty much out of mana at this stage, but Boomy looks like he's taken out with that rebuke pretty easily. Jarmel in the meantime, I mean, that Pulse Nova is no joke. And we've seen the Leshrax rotation pretty early with the Diabolic Edict. We'll see if they can turn this into a tier 1 tower, but Miracle is here now.
I'm not sure if he's going to try to pursue anything. They have pretty limited information, no lane ward. Gabbi is low on mana though.
Yeah, he sure is.
He's still low on mana.
Well, that Echo Saber will help. It does, in fact, give some mana per second, so you can pick up at least the Oblivion staff for now. Armel, I mean, he is a bit behind, but he's going to be able to farm a little bit faster than Miracle, unless he gets ganked here again. I mean, Nigma are being very active in terms of trying to gank these heroes, and looks like they're going to apply their pressure to Pangolier. Does have his ult, but not really able to get it off here. In the meantime, Armel doesn't really have any mana to work with, but the right clicks will suffice as GH is the trade again. It feels like Nigma are getting the better trades pretty consistently, although GH is, you know, a little bit more farming
It's
Pango, I guess.
pretty even overall, but this is the big
this
one.
is early.
If they pull this off because of this movement, if he gets bashed now, that would be really funny.
All right, that Morbid Mask doing work, and first Rosh of the game is at 9:58. So I think you're right. Maybe there will be an Aghanim Scepter Rosh at some point. Miracle gets a Tornado EMP combo with that spear setup, and that is a very, very fast kill onto Boomy. But here's the Mars ult. Tim's with that Rolling Thunder. They can get Miracle. He got to the low ground as a result of that, but they'll find the kill regardless.
It didn't matter!
So it didn't matter as Cinder is being excited for absolutely no reason. And now the question is, can TNC continue on here?
No!
Okay, thank you. Well, RP is available, but obviously no Blink Dagger yet. Any other exclamations you want to make, Cinder?
No!
What a last hit.
Big rotations. Who was not involved? Ursa. Was Ursa mid? I'm trying to look at who did not connect, because if one hero was not part of that play, that's obviously a slight win for that team farm. I think Ursa wasn't there.
Yeah, he got the Aegis, and I think he just TP'd bot, so...
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Nigma are playing super high pace. It feels like a very conscious choice even going into the game. Like, they have this mindset of this is how we're going to play against TNC. Miracle and GH have basically been casting their spells almost non-stop. Not really stopped to kill any creeps for the most part. And it is a very strong duo. They set each other up very well. The Curse Crown sets up nicely for the combo, and so does Tornado MP. Spear.
Ooh, glimpse into the spear. Sunstrike to follow. Kinetic Field Static Storm combination is there, but Mind Control trying to walk away. The damage from Leshrax is so much, but the Lesh drops, and the trade is for the Disruptor. So Gabbi and Bach trying to team up to take out GH. Looks like they'll be successful at that at the very least. And now that their whole team is here, whoa! And RP onto nothing. I don't think Nigma saw that. But that is that brings memories of that Chronosphere we saw earlier.
Yeah, he watched PSG LGD earlier. It's a new meta thing today. The major, you throw your ultis away for a win.
Not enough damage from Tim's that time around. I mean, I know a lot of players like to fake animate or stop animation on the RP because it's very satisfying, because you know you get that little glow and the sound effect. But that's the only thing I can think of. That or just a complete horrible misclick.
I mean, I don't know if he thought there was someone there.
I guess that's true. It could have been. Yeah. Okay.
I'll say for Ame, in Ame's defense earlier, there was definitely no one he could have finished.
That's correct.
So it was probably a stop cast mistake from him.
Yeah.
I think that was a great defense for him.
That's the only defense. I mean, what else is there? Oh my! GH, it's actually going to be a Navi solo kill, but with the help of the Sunstrike from Miracle, GH is doing so much work right now. And we talked about how Leshrax can get back into the game despite having kind of a meh start. But if he keeps dying, that's not really ever going to happen. Now this tier 1 tower not able to be denied, and ILTW gets credit for that. Pops the Enrage, of course, still has the Aegis, and Bach in the wrong place at the wrong time. And Nigma, I mean, it's not that much of a net worth lead, but it feels like they're in pretty decent control right now.
That kill is so it's really impressive that he finds it, considering the vision is radiant down there, right? Like, they don't have any vision themselves to find it, so it's flat out just a map read that he thinks the Shrek is occupying that area, and that he's alone, and that he can solo him before rotations would come in. I don't even know if the Sunstrike connected. If it did almost no damage. His level 1 exort.
It's something. He just wanted a little assist there, but there's the glimpse again. Static Storm. Mars ult to follow, and my god, they can just kill him without even having to commit their bodies at all. And that is the position 1 Magnus, keep in mind. GH dodges the swashbuckle. Tim's able to get the kill regardless, though. And again, these 1-for-1 trades, Nigma are getting the core heroes, typically, and they're just giving up a support.
They're still not building too much of a sizable lead, right? Because even though they're getting these good trades, they're not really farming very much on their heroes, except Ursa, so...
You can see this pretty much solo. Let's see if the Sunstrike does connect or not. He's in Shadow. Oh. Never mind. Okay. No assist for Miracle. GH taking it for himself. I mean, this is a hero that, if he gets even decent farm, scales really well. You can see another glimpse, and they're just going to work. Kuroki's setting up so much with this glimpse.
Disruptor is one of the most satisfying supports to play in the game when you're ahead, when you're the one invading.
What about the opposite, Synderen? Is it the...
It's pretty sad to play when you're behind a lot of the time.
I mean,
it's very polarizing.
Do you
hero.
feel like that is true for every hero in the game?
There are some heroes that are very good at playing defensively, like Treant.
Ugh.
I would say Disruptor is not that good at playing defensively because it makes one of his skills almost useless.
That's true. And we do see the Blink Dagger now, so Magnus, I assume TNC will try to get a little bit more active. I mean, the real issue is that Armel has nothing right now. This is a hero that you absolutely have to get some farm on so he can kind of snowball. I mean, he still has potential to do that. Lemire, again, so active here. In Viz right now. Just out of range so they can't actually feel the cold weather, as it were, Synderen.
He's queued up a Midas after his Vessel, so he has a plan for how to get rich later.
Again, the vision from Miracle sets this up to start with Spirit Vessel applied. Off the RP, Gabbi finds Miracle. This will be a pretty big kill. Looks like they're going to get it. Boomy has come to play as well. The Glimpse not really going to have much of an effect, and now the Static Storm has to be used for Kuroki to try to get out defensively, but it's not going to be successful. So a 2 for nothing, despite having the vision advantage there. Nigma coming out on the losing end of this fight. That's a double kill for Gabbi as Mind Control ends up dropping.
I'd love if we could see a replay of that. So basically what happens is that they drop their spells, but Miracle doesn't want to commit on the kill on Lesh because he's scared of getting RP'd. So he's like dancing around the perimeter for 5 seconds, and then he gets RP'd anyway.
Right.
So really good job from Gabbi to find that opening eventually, and just being patient, like not rushing it. He realizes what's going on. The Invoker is not committing, not doing very much damage by just placing a Vessel in a snap. There's no attacks coming out. And then he finds the moment of opportunity. Like, who knows? Maybe if Miracle committed, they would have got the kill in time. I don't know if the Magnus Dagger was on cooldown, but Gabbi was ready.
LTW now has the Fusel working towards a BKB. We might be seeing a double Blink Dagger here pretty soon for TNC, both Tim's and Gabbi. Tim's very close. So they're going to have a lot of lockdown, a lot of disruption for these fights without needing, you know, Pango's a great hero. You don't need a BKB. You can still just walk through pretty much everything, or roll through everything, I should say. And pretty good game for, actually, I don't know. Do you know the shard for Pango, the roll up? Does that work if you're rooted? I guess probably not, huh? I would guess no.
Actually not sure.
Tim's getting right click down, enraged, nice timing, so kind of expecting that split earth, and he's able to find the kill as a result.
One of the spells hit.
Yep, the Sunstrike, Mind Control.
They're just really trying to find the vision here for Kuro.
Kuroki. It is night vision. No.
If he had an Ops, there's a kill there. But he was not in range when they got the vision from the Sunstrike, and good pathing choices there from Lesh to get out. Chose a really smart path. He ran straight down.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yep, that's usually the good path.
It was indeed.
In my experience, at least.
Has been denied.
How you dodge every arrow.
That's right. Just run in a straight line. Nobody expects it. All right. I mean, the game, network-wise, again, quite even. The Magnus farming better than anybody on the map, which, again, really...
Very surprising.
It's unsurprising, but at the same time, I'm not sure what to expect from Position 1 Magnus, because if it's mid, it's a little bit different, right? I mean, if you're building the same way, you're still relying on somebody else to right-click at some point, but...
I think arguably he's less ahead than could be expected, just because the carry he's playing against is an Ursa going Diffusal, right?
True.
So considering you have Empower the whole game, a 700 gold lead is not that much. But as is always the case with carry Magnus, it's about hitting that big combo.
Control. Oh, nice. Yeah. Dodging the spear, but there's a static storm combo to find him. And yeah, it doesn't really matter. With the Viper Strike to try to counteract this.
This is a dead
no
bear.
Aegis or anything. Yeah, the bear looks quite dead, so it'll be position 2 for position 1. And I think TNC will definitely take that.
Yeah, I mean, their Leshrac has been dying for literally everyone in this game so far, so dying for an Ursa is probably an upgrade, right?
Yeah, that's true.
That's not bad.
Yeah, let's go back to this Midas choice from here. Oh, he's going to be found with his RP.
Oh, he missed the
Sentry was there to show him.
Gun target.
Yeah, but there's still quite a few heroes here to help out. There's a lot of damage being applied now with the Sunstrike coming through. Again, not that much. And the Fear, the Terrorize, the Glimpse back. They're just repositioning these heroes left, right, and center. Gabbi just outside the kinetic field, just skewering to safety. Despite all the spells used, nobody has died yet.
Radiant's middle tower
Spear back onto Tim's. Looks like Mind Control might be the sacrifice.
Good brambles, though.
No, in the meantime, Armel finds a little goodie in the form of GH, and Mind Control will be next. So much needed for Armel to at least be in XP range, because he's kind of struggle city right now.
I think it's very understandable that Nigma see this as a good opportunity. That RP, within the stun duration, they did like a quarter of Invoker's health and damage. So that definitely looked like a play that could turn around, but just the raw health, right? This TNC lineup, pretty tanky. Magnus has a lot of base stat gain. I don't remember what his strength gain is. It's like 4 or something. It's exceptionally high. Look at that 2,700 health with just these items.
Yep, he's a big boy.
So even though they landed a lot of spells on Gabbi and cast like 2 vessels or even 3 charges on him, he still didn't die. He's obviously gone for that 12 strength talent that helps out a bit extra as well.
I'm surprised so many people take that 12 strength over the cooldown reduction. The skewer is crazy. Feels like it's up all the time. But probably for a different type of build here.
Glim.
Oh boy. Yeah, Spear, Static Storm, they're using everything to kill this Lesh, who's, you know, not doing super great this game, but at the same time, it's still a hero you have to respect.
And in all fairness, he had been alive for like a minute, so it was time again.
Yeah, the cooldown has come for your life.
They are definitely targeting Armel this game.
I mean, this could set up the Roche. I mean, that's 40 seconds, no Leshrac. Yeah, they're going to do just that. FTW, shard available.
It is a pretty wise choice as well, right? You look at the other options. One of them is an Enchantress, which doesn't feel very rewarding, and she might have buyback. Then there's a Pango, who could counterplay your Glimpse by just using ult. Viper is very tanky, Magnus is very tanky. So Lesh is like the highest... He's like has the highest damage per HP, so to say. Yeah. So it's an easy kill, but also a high damage output. You love killing those heroes off first.
All right. Is he not taking the shard?
He has it in his bag for now.
It is...
He's going to give it to Willow, I think.
Yeah, he could. No, he's going to take it for himself, it looks like. Yeah, Willow's is quite good. That's the Cursed Crown.
Did Willow...
does a bunch of things.
Willow might just buy it herself.
Yeah, I think it's something you buy anyway,
yeah.
So...
She might have it already, actually. Is that his courier coming out there? It might be GH's courier flying out.
Well gotten.
Nope.
Dagger.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, I was thinking, oh, that's nice. He has pretty good gold. So, of course, he has an item that costs another 7. Yep. All right.
Yeah, so Ursa Shard gives it's a lower cooldown on Earth Shock and also applies the Enrage buff for a 1.5 seconds every time you use Earth Shock. Again, I know it sounds like a broken record for people that have listened to us. I genuinely think this is the top 5 shard in the entire game. It is mega powerful. Pretty much not situational at all. It's always good. All right, Force Staff, dodging that Sunstrike. The GH was getting chased for the time being, but this Cold Snap is quite annoying to deal with for Gabbi, who I think he does have his BKB now. Yeah, it's at the full 9 seconds, so actually going for AC. So not going pure right click, but a little more tankiness. I mean, you talked about how high his HP is, and obviously armor is good to accompany that with overall.
It's also a very standard item for Mag to buy just because his attack speed is not very great, but his base damage with Empower is very high. So you see he's hitting for like 350. So even if you get a crit, the amount of attacks you get off during the RP is pretty limited. But with an AC, you obviously got way more attacks. It's something that benefits your team. You'll still get your Daedalus as next item after this, probably, if he gets there.
What do you think of Bloodthorn instead of Daedalus?
It's okay if the matchup is right, but you have to consider, like, yeah, you're helping out your teammates, but it's also dispellable, right? If the enemy team has anything that counters it, then I'd say usually Daedalus for the most part is the better choice. If you have a really good reason to buy the Bloodthorn, then it can definitely be a thing. Obviously the build-up for Bloodthorn is different now, so it doesn't work the same way the old Bloodthorn does, or did. Doesn't have the Chrysalis component anymore.
True. All right, 2.5 minutes left on the Aegis for ILTW as Armel hasn't died in a while. I think it's almost time, Cinderin. But
yep.
He's accompanied by his team this time, so this is what I like. I like that they're kind of baiting him because they know he just looks like such a juicy target for Team Nigma. Now 3K ahead. Oh, wow, we have a shard on Destroy. Are you kidding me? So this is Thunderstrike can be cast on allies, and it gives a little bit of a boost of movement speed and attack speed for a brief moment. And increases the radius of the effect of Thunderstrike. That is really cool. I don't know if I've ever seen that in a game. Have you?
Yeah, I have. It's not,
how is it?
It's not that common though. Like Disruptor will usually buy a utility item in X, right? But yeah. I think it's very good on Ursa. So you want to give this to a melee carry that just wants to keep running people down. Giving him just a little bit more attack speed and the movement speed really helps him stick onto targets in the fights. So I like it here. I don't really think it has much use apart from that though. You put it on Ursa and that's pretty much it. There's no like secondary great target. Like, it's not very good on Invoker. He's not Exhort build, right?
Yeah.
So for now, you're going to see this popping up on the Ursa for the most part.
That's very cool. Excited to see it. Thunderstrike buff for teammates. So we do see the shard also on Pango, so he has the roll-up ability, which gives him magic immunity, and he can kind of combo it with his ult to turn around and do some fancy stuff. Is on the cliff. So he's going to be spotting this and blinks out just as the sentry is placed and uses his ult immediately. Fair enough.
Yeah.
You don't want to get glimpsed, that's for sure.
Right. I mean, he could have tried to swashbuckle first, and then if the glimpse starts going off, he can roll. You do have enough time if it's a max distance glimpse.
I mean, you can just use your shard ability. You don't need to actually use your ult, technically, to get to dodge the disruptor glimpse, right? I mean, it's I know that.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. That should be fine.
I mean, I'm a Pango master, Cinder. Come on.
Yep, me too.
Although I never buy these utility items that I see these pleb pro players buy.
You buy Maelstrom MKB.
Yep, I've actually upgraded my build. I used to go Diffusal and stuff like that, but that's just
not enough damage.
It's not enough. It's overrated. Yeah. All right, well, the Aegis is gonna expire, so Nigma pretty much used it to farm. They didn't get any towers, I don't think, during this time frame. But obviously the shard is, you know, that's 1,400 gold for free. And they still have the cheese, which does not expire, despite being a cheese, which lore-wise doesn't make any sense to me. I think over time it should turn into blue cheese and it becomes more powerful, so it just ferments over time, you know? And eventually it just becomes like a fungus or a mushroom or something, you know? Anyway, Cinderin continues to ignore me. We have a 5K network lead for Nigma.
I'm thinking about your suggestion critically.
And?
It's very good.
Thames? He does fine. Okay, there's the roll-up being used to GH. All right. Who's that TPing? Did he just cancel? Oh, okay, he just TP'd out. Just causing chaos as is Pangolier's job, essentially. Ursa going for the Tome of Knowledge, which makes every support very sad. Just really wants that level 20 talent, I guess.
You might get level 20 before minute 30 anyway, to be honest.
Yeah.
If they get any fight, he should get there.
Yeah, for sure.
Mag has been hitting his, so he gets the 425 skewer range. So he did take the strength talent instead of the cooldown one, but then he took the skewer range one. The skewer range talent is, I think, better than the cooldown one. The reason is usually Magnus fights, the way they go down is you have one key initiate, right? And you want that to have the highest impact possible. So let's say you catch Invoker or Ursa, skewering them that extra 400 range makes a really big difference for the team's ability to connect and help. Whereas the 7-second cooldown reduction is more dependent on being able to reset out. The 12 strength is just such a feel-good talent because it affects everything you do for the rest of the game. Farming speed, tankiness, damage. So, but I will agree though, I think the skewer talent is also good.
That's pretty cool to see. Oh, he might be wrapped around here. Kuroki, oh, links out, skewers out. They just need a little bit of vision for Kuroki. And Gabbi is going to be found with that spear. Here comes the Cataclysm, the Marlows, everything being used to take out the position 1 Magnus. Gabbi dead for 70 seconds. And with that,
Dire's
Maybe a
middle
tower for
is
Nigma.
under attack.
Roshan, we won't know the timer on him for another minute.
And this is what Miracle accomplished with the Midas pickup after the Vessel, is that he manages to transition from Quaswex into Exort later in the game. If he hadn't gone the Midas, he probably wouldn't have had maxed out Exort there, and probably wouldn't have had, well, he would have had the Axe if he didn't go Midas, right?
GH, first crown, BKB has to be 4-step and block. LTW really wants to fight Tim, so he has that shard, so every time you attack him, you kind of gets pushed back, but he's going to use his ult in the meantime. Again, trying to be chaotic here, but won't be committing to anything. And LTW, I mean, just 20 seconds left on the ult, so not much was expended in the end.
Oh, Armel is low on mana. Can't TP yet. Now he can.
This is the longest streak he's been alive so far, and he's going to be fine.
Yeah.
All right, GH does have enough for shard, but also has an Aeon disc queued up, so... Okay, just bought the shard.
I just asked production. It was Armel's brother playing the first 20 minutes.
Oh.
He's back.
All right, thank you, production. Appreciate that insight. So the shard for Dark Willow applies to Curse Crown like we talked about. A little bramble comes about. It stuns faster. It's like a second earlier for the Curse Crown to go off. Pretty freaking good.
To me, this is one of the best shards in the game.
Yeah.
I think it's really, really fun.
Very good. I mean, I wouldn't put on Ursa level, not quite. It's up there, maybe top 10. So.
I don't know. It's debatable. One of the things that even makes it so crazy is that the Curse Crown even goes off if it gets dispelled.
Yeah.
Like that is, it's so good that you still get those brambles out on use. So usually what a lot of players would do in the past against Dark Willow in the mid-late game is that they would buy any sort of dispel, like Lotus Orb against the stun, Manta, whatever. But if you have that shard, you can only really remove it with BKB. Does it go off even then? It probably does, but then you can just walk over the brambles.
Yes.
But the brambles should still get placed even if you BKB.
Yeah. Yep, that's exactly. So what you need to do is Yule's it off, then the brambles get created, and then Lotus it off. So you get 2 items to counter the shard.
Right.
It's only like a 6k investment.
Yeah, because the brambles get placed so close as well that you can't even dodge them when you come down from the Yules.
That's...
You can't even get out.
It is a maze after all.
Yeah. That's how mazes work. You can't go anywhere and there's no escape.
That's right. Okay, Roche is up, and it is a refresher shard.
I hope you never go into a maze.
Double damage!
I'm too
Well,
scared,
if you go into an actual maze, you'll just give up and never find the end because you think every maze has no exits.
After Harry Potter, I'm never going to go in a maze again, Cinderin. I know you don't understand that reference because you don't watch any movies, which is really weird. It makes you a robot. But ILTW has the double damage. And working towards a satanic, it looks like. So
I have watched all Harry Potter movies, Jim.
I don't believe you.
I have.
All right, name one character.
Cedric Diggory.
Wow.
There you go.
That is the maze one, too. All right, we got a Smoke of Deceit on TNC. They're down 6k, but they have very good team fight with the... As long as the RP hits, they have good team fight. See if they can catch somebody off guard, but I mean, Nigma are kind of positioned in a decent spot for this, although now that Mind Control is heading towards that top area of his jungle.
Oh, this could be a good skewer.
Yeah, we'll see. Mind Control, and he's thinking that they might be in a rush. He's going to use his Blink Dagger, and there's the RP just on one.
Oh, he's
They'll
dead.
take it.
He doesn't have buyback. That's pretty big.
They don't know this, of course, but this could potentially free up Roche for them.
Regeneration!
Their lineup's not particularly good at killing it,
It's
though.
very bad, in fact. But Hims gets the Rolling Thunder up. They want to focus on Kuroki. They're going to get him pretty easily. So 2 kills right off the bat for TNC. And I believe that GH is going to be next. That's a triple kill for Armel, who's come back with a vengeance. Might have a buyback. That's going to be on Kuroki. LTW has to use that BKB charge.
It's crazy how much better you can be at the game than your brother, right? Like,
Here we go.
Dire structures are fortified.
Yeah, it's the same blood. Doesn't make any sense. Oh, Glimpse back. And they burst him down. The Static Storm, Kinetic Field combo again. And yes, the Tango is done, though. Tier 1 tower is about to fall as well. LTW completely popped the cheese there, trying to go ham onto Gabbi. Oh, into the Cataclysm. It's going to clip Gabbi, but it's not enough for the kill. Spear Vessel applied as well, but now Nigma on the run. I mean, they are completely outnumbered. We see a Marglo being used to take out Magnus. Will be successful in doing so. Buyback now on Ursa. This is a huge buyback. If TNC can get out, this is a dead even game in terms of net worth. Force Staff not quite going to get Armel into the high ground. Boomy might be the sacrifice. And again, I think TNC will be very happy with that, but maybe the Viper instead. So Boomy does get taken out, and yeah, they're going to get at least 2 kills here for Nigma.
Straight
so
to
something,
Roshan.
yeah, and the Roshan is the reason for this buyback.
that was still, honestly, TNC did a really good job against the Cataclysm. I thought that was going to look way scarier. I think they barely even got scratched by it. Maybe one of the Sunstrikes hit the Magnus. I think everyone else dodged it, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, really great job from them. They're on the enemy side of the map, and they're getting beaten by buybacks. And Nigma obviously know that this is a worthwhile trade because the Roshan is up.
Tim's, if he was just there a couple seconds earlier, could have had some crazy moves, but it was not to be.
So was this one Refresher Shard, or
Yes.
it was Shard? So they're going to give that to Invoker, you'd imagine.
Oh yeah, double Cataclysm for
Double
sure.
Cataclysm in the arena.
Yeah.
Could even pull it off together with some sort of Curse Crown combo.
Yeah, very true. I mean, obviously it's
really scary.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
I mean,
All right, Pango's going to go in.
okay.
Dagger.
Rolling Thunder into the roll up, into the split earth. This is a lot of lockdown. Miracle pops the BKB, and he's actually just going to get out with a sliver of HP.
Radiant's
Close
top
call.
tower is under attack.
That was a great attempt. I don't think they could have cast their spells any better either.
Yeah.
They literally landed everything,
Radiant
maximized the stun
structures are
layering to not risk BKB popping off before Split Earth. He pre-popped Edict.
Dire's structures are
They could,
fortified.
yeah, there was nothing they could have done better. Except maybe having a Dust. I don't know if they did. I think they did and he got away anyway.
Radiant's top tower
He's just
is
so
under
fast and
attack.
Ghost Walk.
Fortifications were traded here, so that keeps a pretty healthy wave alive in the top lane for Team Nigma. But looks like they're going to reset as a tornado clips onto this very powerful Centaur creep who will be destroyed.
Alright, they sent a message there.
Yeah, they really did.
That was a lot of heroes to kill a neutral.
Mind control. Working towards a Desolator. We keep seeing this, but it's never actually purchased on Mars, it feels like.
So Nigma with the read that there's unlikely to be any wards here from TNC based on the very aggressive wards they have themselves.
Is under attack.
So they're gonna do a smoke.
What for?
Well, Enchantress kind of baiting herself up. I think TNC have a pretty good idea what's going on right now based on their map position. They're all hidden in base. Enchantress is kind of peeking. Oh, that is...
Yeah, Mind Control shows himself. Doesn't look like they want to initiate on him, though. They did that before.
Really
Tried to
weird.
get out of the kinetic field, but it's not to be. ILTW just rips him apart.
I think if Gabbi was fast there, he could have actually caught Mind Control. He ran under the tower for like 2 seconds
Yeah,
before he
could have
blinked.
blinked.
There was a blink skewer there.
Radiant's middle
And in the
tower
end,
is
Kuro
under
ends up
attack.
just going...
Is there a possibility where they just absolutely do not want to go on the Mars because they know that there's a refresher shard on Invoker?
I don't think so. I think he dies in the
think he
blink
dies
of
immediately?
If they blink skewer and chain it with a Leshrac stun, he doesn't get any spells off.
All right, another great game between these two teams. They seem relatively evenly matched based on, you know, small sample size, but looking really good. These RP onto Miracle. This should be enough damage with the Split Earth and the Pulse Nova applied. And that is a dead Miracle for 80 seconds. Gabbi's in fact going to pop the BKB and skewer away Armel. He's pretty freaking fast, so I think he's going to be A-okay.
They might not be done here yet. They have the possibility of turning around on the ward they have on the left. If
Dagger
Nigma go off
GH.
the wrong way,
Tim sees him, blinks to safety now.
they're full on disengaging. If Nigma would have gone into that Radiant ward in the bottom jungle, this could have possibly been a fighting location for them, even after using Mag BKB and RP. Because this man disadvantage is really big. Like, Invoker is such a big part of what Nigma bring to the fights.
Indeed.
But they get the kill and get out. It's a big kill. That should probably give them some breathing room.
Oh,
That
Spear
was
just
close.
misses. Tim's able to get off his ult, trying to clear this wave a little bit before inevitably getting out.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Still
attack.
plenty of time on the Aegis for ILTW.
GH is really trying to get in there.
And we do see the Deso finish on Mind Control, so... All
Radiant's bottom tower
Easy tier
has
2.
fallen.
right, is this... I mean, the next 3 minutes, 40 seconds. The building damage, you know, not the greatest, but now that you have the
Dire's top
Deso onto
tower
Mars,
is
it
under
becomes a
attack.
little bit respectable, at least. It's not like you have a Leshrac on your team from Nigma's
Dire
perspective.
are scanning.
Actually gets a Blink Dagger. I was
Dire's
expecting a
top tower
shard
is
on
under
Lesh
attack.
this game, considering that they're a little bit
Radiant's
behind and
middle tower is under
they keep
attack.
losing the Aegis, and they, you know, the high ground defense is going to be ultra important for them.
It's definitely something he should consider as his next item, I would say. Also, just because they have some, I feel like it's really good synergy with Pango. Like, he has so much
Yeah,
chain stun that you should be able to land at least the secondary Split Earth afterwards. You also have Viper Strike, very potent slow to land the second stun as well. So, yeah, I would agree it's a good pickup here. His main concern might be that if he goes that route, he's still very
Radiant's
susceptible
middle
to Ursa,
tower
right?
is
He has
under
no
attack.
armor. It's an Ursa that's going to get Thunderstrike and Alacrity, so...
Timeless
Radiant's
Relic on
courier
Miracle.
has been killed.
Pretty good. Although I think they may have gotten Spell Prism as well, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know what they would choose. He gets Octarine Coin.
He'll still take the Relic for sure. No, he gave it to GH. Okay.
I don't know. Spell Prism's really... I mean, both of them are extremely good, so...
I would probably, on average, I would say these are the 2 best tier 4 items in the game.
Yeah.
Obviously, some heroes don't really benefit very well, but it's difficult to build a lineup where you don't feel like, wow, one of these items is just amazing on my hero for 2 of your teammates.
They're very consistent. And the Leveler is like... Well, Trickster Cloak, I would say, is extremely good now as well.
Yeah.
The Invis and the resistance that you get. Leveler is like one of those, like, sometimes you use it, sometimes you just backpack it in case you're pushing the tower, which I think might be the case for them. I don't know. Mind Control's going to hold on to it.
Why does Armel not have a neutral item? Oh, he got one now. He got the cloak. Okay, that's right.
He could, yeah, that's a good choice.
So good on Lesh.
Absolutely. Now you have to have some sort of vision if you're Nigma. Whoa! You barely need any vision to take out that Enchantress. Goodness gracious.
Scotty on Viper.
Yeah, that is wow. I mean, it gives a lot of stats and the minus HP regen, I guess, but
more kiting against Ursa.
Yeah.
I kind of would have liked maybe a Halberd.
Halberd was really good. As Gabbi gets the RP off, Armel with the BKB split Earth combo, and they take him out 2 minutes. No ILTW. Mind Control puts down his Mars ult, but it's really to no avail. Just the AoE damage from Armel is crazy. Nice. Yule's dodging a lot of miracle spells, but there's the refresher shard used in conjunction with that Sunstrike combination. Gabbi with the triple kill though, and this is way too much damage for Nigma to deal with. The Cataclysm wasn't enough. It felt like kind of a panic, have to use it while we can, but the fact that they lost the Ursa, they lost the Mars, didn't really have any great setup for it. And TNC have just completely turned this game upside down.
I love watching TNC when they're decisive, right? That was so coordinated, that kill. Yeah. Everybody knew exactly what they were going to do. It's like it almost felt like they had half a minute to explain to each other what they were going to do, but everyone just knows.
Yeah.
So, great RP into the full spell wombo combo. The Pangolier ulti is covering the back line.
They are getting multiple racks here.
And yeah, Miracle was close to getting multiple kills there with the Cataclysm refresh, but they didn't have anything to keep the enemy heroes in place. And that one death on Ursa could just end up costing them everything. It's at least 2 lanes.
Oh yeah.
Miracle and ILTW both without buybacks.
And the tier 2 tower, the only issue with that is their creeps are not super close in that top lane, so maybe they poke at the tier 4s for now, try to get these buybacks out, or perhaps they reset. We'll see. I mean, Roshan, we won't know for another 30 seconds when he'll spawn, but this game has flipped upside down. 9k net worth lead now for TNC off of 1 RP.
Oh my god, look at the
beautifully done. Yeah, that's insane. You can take the outpost as well. I mean, what are your thoughts on, I mean, I've been seeing this more and more in the last few months from pro players, but the lack of buybacks for these core players, it seems to be, I don't want to call it a newer trend, but it's not like the old days where you would always have buyback, it feels like, at this stage of the game.
Right. I think it very much depends on the game state. You always need to hold it up against, okay, I can have my buyback or I can have another item, right? Because buyback is so expensive now for cores. So if you're the leading team and you're on the enemy half of the map, in a lot of cases it's better to have the item, because you feel like even if I buyback, if I don't have travels, I can't connect to the fight anyway. You don't have the enemy outpost here, for example, right? As Nigma.
Oh boy.
Dire's top
All right,
tower.
Nigma need to find something here. Mind Control gets the arena off, but he doesn't find anybody in the 4th effort of the high ground. But it looks like GH will be able to have the damage to take out Boomy at the very least, but buys back into the game now. Now no Mars Arena. Tim's doing work with that Rolling Thunder. Actually finds the Ursa in the meantime. Just rolls right into him. This is going to be a huge kill inside that Nether Toxin. Pops his ult. RP onto 1. Cataclysm to follow, though. Not going to do that much damage. LTW's pretty healthy for now. Remember, he does not have buyback whatsoever. Terrorize onto a couple heroes. GH trying to do as much as he can as Mind Control spears somebody into the cliff. The chase is continuing. Gabbi skewers Ursa basically all alone. Being bursted down, eats the cheese, which he still had, but it doesn't matter. More than enough damage for TNC. It looks like they're going to take this series 2-0. And this, again, in the last 3 minutes, this game has gone from down, what, 10k to up 20 for TNC. Unreal.
I think the biggest lead Nigma ever had in this game was 5k, and they just lost 25k in the last 3 minutes. That's just that one moment. That sometimes that's all it takes. And Nigma obviously had options there. They could have cut their Ursa, right?